Back with another video for you today. Today I'm talking about the latest release from Acqua Di Parma, and it's called Colonia Vaniglia. This one right here. This is the latest in the dark bottle fragrances, which includes one of my favorites, Oud. And it was launched as an exclusive to Harrods. As you can see the H on it right there. But I see that it's actually now being sold at Saks. I found it at Saks.com. So if you want to find out about this vanilla, which is actually delicious, a vanilla release from Acqua Di Parma, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If you like watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances like Vanilla from Acqua Di Parma, discovering new brands, participating in giveaways, and still have not subscribed to my channel, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. You know me, I'm a lover of vanilla fragrances, and as soon as I heard about this, I was very, very excited because we have now Oud from this house. Oud was launched in 2012, then we had Leather launched in 2014, and then in 2015 they launched Ambra. Then in 2016 they launched Quercia, which is one of my least favorites from this collection, and also Sandalo. So in 2017 they launched Ebano and Mira, both of them are good. And then finally Vanilla, which is really, really good. I'm gonna tell you all about it. This was launched in 2018, late last year, so it's pretty new. It was, I think, exclusive to Harrods. That's why I have that H on the back, on the cap here. As I said, it is now available and selling at Saks. It's $245 for 100 ml, and that's what Saks is selling it for. I picked it up at Harrods for, I think it was around 160 pounds, British pounds. But they were having that sale, as I've been saying in my videos, and there was no tax on this as I got the tax refund. I couldn't find a Perfumer here, and also it states on Fragrantica and Parfumo that this is strictly targeted to men. And I don't really believe that, you know, there's a gender with fragrances anyway. If you like what you're smelling, wear it. But this to me is not very masculine. It's very unisex, if not a little feminine leaning. So I don't get where Parfumo and Fragrantica find that this is released for men. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, as I said. So for notes at the top, you've got Bergamot, Mandarin, and Neroli. In the heart, you've got Jasmine, Sambac Absolute, and Madagascar Vanilla Absolute. And basically, in the dry down, you have Virginian Cedar. So it's a simple, straightforward fragrance. It's not overly original, but it's a really, really good vanilla fragrance, if that makes sense. The other thing I forgot to mention is that this is a Cologne Concentree. And when they first launched Oud, in 2012, it used to be called Colonia Intensa Oud. Then they rebranded it as Colonia Oud, and now all of the fragrances in this brown bottle collection are called just a Colonia and the name of the actual fragrance. And you know, I do like this collection because they focus on specific notes that we know, like the Oud, of course, the leather, the amber, the sandalwood, the ebony wood, the myrrh, and the vanilla now. So I like the collection. And Cologne Concentree, so the fragrances from this house are eau de cologne, sort of like, well, I guess they are very much like Joe Malone's fragrances, eau de colognes, but Cologne Concentree, they are very intense in concentration, so it's kind of like a marketing thing. Because they're known for eau de cologne or colognes, they want to kind of play off of that, and I believe the intensity or the concentration of the oils in these fragrances is a lot more than what you would find in a typical eau de cologne, if that makes sense. Because I find the Oud in the collection to be a pretty long-lasting fragrance, and it's also very, very intense. Now, when it first was launched, it was a lot more intense than what it is now, but I still find the fragrance to be pretty intense. And here, it's very similar. It's not a cologne. I mean, it's Cologne Concentree. It's concentrated notes. It's really, really intense. But as I said, I do find it to be very unisex, if not a bit feminine leaning, because vanilla is typically more, I'm a lover of vanilla, don't get me wrong. I love the way vanilla smells, but typically I find feminine or women, using or wearing vanilla more than men, but you know, the ones that are like experienced with fragrances and you know can have the experience and a palette for different notes, I think can wear something like this. And I absolutely love this one. So the fragrance starts off very citrusy at the top. It's really citrusy. You've got a really quality bergamot at the top with mandarin, very juicy. A little bit of floral with neroli, which is actually a perfect segue for that jasmine, sambac, and absolute in the heart. So you got from the neroli, the citrus floral, to that beautiful jasmine, sambac, absolute. But at this time, you're already smelling that beautiful Madagascar vanilla absolute. It is to die for delicious. It's absolutely delicious. It's really good. So the fragrance overpowers with the vanilla. It's just all about vanilla here. You do still pick up some citruses and a little bit of the floral notes, but the vanilla is just dominating. It's all about vanilla, and you gotta love vanilla if you want to wear this one, because that's all it is. It's a vanilla fragrance. The fragrance dries down to a slight woody vanillic dry down. It is mostly about that cedarwood, but the vanilla is so strong that you experience that cedarwood in the dry down along with the vanilla. And it's very simplistic. If you want a good vanilla, this is it. Now the couple of things that I would also mention here, it does have some powdery elements, which is fine. There are some notes in here which I guess maybe they're not really mentioned, that kind of give it a little bit of a powdery touch to it. Maybe it's perhaps the jasmine, sambac, absolute that's causing that. And the other thing I want to mention is it goes milky a little bit as well, which is awesome, because I've baked stuff with my mom, and vanilla and milk together mixed, you get that beautiful milky, creamy, like heavy whipping cream with vanilla extract and things like that. I kind of experienced that with this one, which is actually quite delicious. I've been really getting into the idea of milky fragrances, and this has a little bit of that. Not necessarily milky thin milk, but more creamy milky, if that makes sense, which is actually delicious. And the other thing is, it goes into a little bit of like a dulce de leche kind of a direction as well. Maybe a little bit, not necessarily overly burnt, a tad bit of burned sugary kind of vanilla. Delicious. It's really delicious. I think this is kind of like the best, my two favorites, the oud and the vanilla, and I do like the leather and the amber, and of course I like the Habano and Mira as well. I don't own those ones, but I'm glad to own this one because it's, like I said, it's absolutely delicious. And I love vanilla to begin with, and I love to discover all kinds of different vanilla fragrances, going from, you know, the side of one direction to the other. And this one does have a lot of floral aspects to it, so that's another reason why I thought this would be a little more feminine leaning rather than masculine leaning. When I saw on Fragrantica and Parfumo it says it's targeted to men. Maybe this whole collection in the brown bottles are targeted to men, I'm not really sure. But vanilla is very unisex to me, if not sometimes feminine leaning, as I said. But what a beauty this is. Absolutely love this one. I'm glad to have it, and I hope people start talking about it because it's quite lovely. Now guys, are you familiar with this line of fragrances from Acqua Di Parma? Are you even familiar with Acqua Di Parma anyway? Do you know this line? It's a brand owned by Lvmh, Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy since the 2000s, early 2000s, or maybe mid 2000s. I can't quite remember. It could even be the late 2000s when they acquired them. But it's a perfume line from Italy that was acquired by LVMH sometime within the last 10 years, I believe. But there's some solid releases. There's some misses that I don't like. I like their original colognes that they had. Really awesome. I guess they're colognes. And I think there's this like whole barbershop-y kind of concept around the brand, which I don't associate it with that, because their colognes are like traditional eau de colognes, neroli and citruses and things like that. I don't see any barbershop-y elements to them, but it's a great line. I've loved this line, and when they resurrected in the 2000s, it was like everybody, celebrities were going gaga over this line, and finally I think they got acquired by LVMH, so it's all available to us. So if you like a great vanilla that starts off very citrusy, goes into a little floral territory and dries down to a beautiful woody vanilla fragrance, Colonia Vaniglia by Acqua Di Parma is one that you should definitely try. So let me know if you've tried it, if you own it, or if you've been wanting to try it, and hopefully you will get to try it. If you have any questions or comments, also please do put down. If you don't know this line and you're curious, also I might have a few videos on the channel. Definitely have a review for the Oud, and I've also mentioned a few other fragrances, but I think I want to kind of explore this line a little further and see if I can pick up some of the other black or dark brown bottled fragrances as well. Alright guys, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.